Given our expertise, I would definitely look at the resi segment in markets like the Netherlands, the Nordics, or Ireland, because I think there are opportunities where you can go for. I would less look at these core trophy assets unless there really opportunities come around, because given the pricing for some trophy assets right now, they're heavily priced, and it's quite hard to really make a story out of them, except if an opportunity comes around that's very unusual due to lease length in the market environment whatsoever. And the rest will be trying to look at locations and cities where you're able to add value to assets, to properties, to possibly land, banks or whatever, just to be able to generate some extra return out of it. And also to look at retail in its different facets, depending on cities, countries you're looking at. Might it be German food retailers or high street across Europe?
Right, well.
Being relatively conservative, I would put a big slug into sort of long-term products, to say 60% of it, and then use the rest to do some very selective development in Europe, logistics, certain office markets, and definite resi and student housing.
I think because we are kind of late cycle, but the cycle is probably going to last for a couple of more years. I think the key thing is to spread your bets relatively widely. So not betting on one country or one sector, but trying different things and getting a portfolio together which is based on some sort of low-yielding, safe assets and some bets on cities or sectors where you think there's going to be a fundamental change, like in student housing.
And I'd echo that, and I think given that Spain and London, UK are the most volatile European markets, I think, and the excitement about being in those markets right now, I would think diversification is a sensible thing to do, because these markets are very different. Some are much more volatile, they correlate in different ways, so diversification in a smart way would seem to make sense. But also, another of your charts or comments, Stefan, on the pricing of real estate, the best deals done in the last 10 years were done in 2010 and 11, not in 2007, 8 and 9, so maybe keeping some of that as cash, waiting for those crises, those sparks that provide the opportunity.
Good. Stefan, I think I can give you 500 million from me, and by the looks of it, for diversification and other purposes, about another 200 from the rest of the panel.
Yeah, appreciate. Yeah, so we'll do some crowdfunding here. No, Richard, actually, I already took 1/10 of that amount and invested it in student housing already. So I'm looking for reimbursement very soon. No, clearly, I mean, my message I think is clear. I think that looking for some bulletproof, high potential residential real estate, specifically student housing, is clearly my call. I see still diversity in that investment because there are so many different university cities in Germany, and I think the most interesting part of that is not only building new houses right now, because then you are getting in competition, of course, with the kind of prime core developers on residential and central locations. But I think there's a lot of potential for conversions of office, or even, reusing of other areas into student housing. And regulations are in favor for doing that right now. So I'll put my 500 million on German student housing.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.